What's it like looking back on 25 years with the Astute Group?
When I think back, 25 years has absolutely flown by. I've been here nearly half of my life. It's surreal when you say it out loud. I started out selling advertising for the company and quickly progressed into the sales and marketing manager role. In the early days, I would personally deliver the customers' goods, load it into my car. I'd attend the meetings with the clients to sell them the goods and then go back to the office and process everything. At that time, I was working between our Aberdeen and our Forfar offices. That gave me the opportunity to build strong relationships across both areas. And as those customer relationships grew, and to find new business, of course, so did my involvement in networking. Gosh, I can remember attending breakfast meetings for many years before my day even started, and then dinners and many networking events after work and at weekends. It was pretty full on, to be honest. This led also to me getting heavily involved in the local football club. A lot of people locally maybe know me from that, and the Rotary. In fact, I was their first female president. And to me, that was very much about giving back to the community. The community was supporting us as a growing business, and I think that's really important to give back. But across all this, I met many new people who eventually became long-standing customers and friends. There's always a strong sense of local businesses supporting one another, and the networking opportunities were key to building relationships, many of which are still in place today. So it's been great. But over the years, we've seen huge changes within the business. Stationery and our retail shop in Forfar were once a massive part of what we did. And that, along with print, were where most of our sales come from in those days. And then in 2020, as you know, the world changed for everyone. We closed our Aberdeen office and moved all our operations to Forfar. People started working from home, working habits changed. The stationery side of the business especially changed, becoming secondary to everything else. It was quite scary how that suddenly just dropped overnight. But we successfully pivoted into digital services, website design. We grew our promotional gifts and signage side of the business. That was something we already did anyway, but we saw that as a market that we could grow to replace what we'd lost in the stationery. We still provide our stationery services, even though we've closed our retail outlet, but it's much more minimal now than it was. Along with that, we also invested heavily in our print capabilities. We brought in new machineries from Japan, and that gave us access to the latest print technology. That recent investment allowed us to produce some of the highest quality printing in the marketplace, and printing still remains a key part of our business today. Not as much, but it's still very much there, and we still have the printing presses through the back. But Barry and I progressed with the company. We learned on the job, and I didn't rock up here with a degree or any qualifications, but I was hardworking and passionate about the business even before it was ours. And we still are very hands-on, but having showed the potential to help the business grow, we were both quickly invited on in the early days to the larger board of directors. So there must have been something in us. As the members of that board retired, we stepped into the role of joint managing directors. And I'm delighted that we've reached that role now. It's a great position to be in, and it's a privilege to work alongside Barry and to combine our complementary skills. We're both very different, but we address the challenges we face together, and that's amazing. But, for me, most importantly, throughout the last 25 years, it's relationships with customers, colleagues, and the local community. That's meant the most to me, and those relationships are still going strong today.
What's kept you here for so long?
I think, as I said earlier, it's been about the people and the relationships we've built over the years. I've really enjoyed helping our customers grow their businesses through rebranding, printing, promotional gifts, website design, and workwear. We do a lot of workwear, but all of that has helped create a professional image for their companies. We've created a genuinely supportive culture where people care about each other and they take pride in doing a great job for our customers. Every day he is different, and I love that. There's always something new to learn. And I still enjoy rolling my sleeves up and getting involved in the day-to-day operations. I've always done that, and I'll always continue to do that. It's great mucking in with everyone. And everyone else at Astute has followed my lead. We're very lucky in that respect. Everyone likes to do the same thing.
What are you most fulfilled by when you look at the business today?
I think what fulfills me most today is that we've been able to grow relationships with customers without ever losing who we are. You see so many online companies trying to win customers purely through cheap promotions without ever getting to meet anyone. I would hate that. For us, it's relationships and personal service that's always mattered to me most. I also take a huge amount of satisfaction from the reputation we've built. The loyalty of our customers and the team that we've created around us is incredible. Seeing the people grow within the business and watching customers stay with us for years means a great deal to me because it's shown we've built genuine trust, and that's really incredibly rewarding.
What's one lesson the business has taught you over the years?
I think the biggest lesson that I've been taught is that people are the heart of absolutely everything. You can have the best ideas, strategies, and plans in the world, but ultimately a business only succeeds because of the people behind it. The team you build, the customers that support you, and the relationships you develop along the way. I think early on I realized that success is never just about transactions or growth figures. It really comes from treating people properly, listening carefully, and being honest, and building genuine trust over time. Whether it's supporting staff, helping customers, or working with suppliers, the way you treat people always comes back to define your reputation as a business. I think I've also learned that long-term success doesn't happen overnight. It's built steadily through consistency, reliability, and doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. We've been fortunate to build strong relationships with customers who've stayed with us for many years. We've got a customer who's been with us since before I started, in fact, probably since the business started. And that loyalty means a great deal because it shows trust has been earned. Same applies internally with the team. Watching people grow within the business, they develop confidence and they build careers over time, which is one of the most rewarding parts of what we do. I think Astute created an environment where people feel valued and supported, and it's something that I've always cared deeply about. It's a great team we've got. At the end of the day, businesses evolve, industries change, and technology moves quickly. But one thing remains constant. People remember how you make them feel. And for me, the human side of the business has always been the most important lesson and the foundation of any lasting success.
How have you handled all of the changes over the years?
I think experience gradually teaches you not to panic when things change. Even when those changes initially feel disruptive or uncertain, with time you start to recognize that change is rarely a setback. It's usually a signal that something's shifting. And that shift often carries both risk and opportunity. So every challenge for me, whether it's expected or completely unexpected, tends to force you out of routine thinking and into a space where you have to learn something new, which is exciting, even if you don't immediately realize it at the time. Over the years, we've had to adapt to constant changes in technology, evolving customer expectations. Gosh, and some expectations can be pretty high, but we managed to get there. And the wider business environment, all of which can move faster than you anticipate. I think what once worked reliable can quickly become outdated, and that can be uncomfortable if you're not prepared for it. However, we found that staying open-minded, curious, and willing to question our own assumptions make a significant difference. Instead of resisting change, we've learned to engage with it. The whole team tested new approaches, learning from mistakes, and refining what we do as we go. I think perhaps most importantly, maintaining a positive but realistic outlook has helped us keep moving forward during more difficult periods. Positivity here at Astute doesn't mean ignoring problems. I can tell you that. It means believing that problems can be understood and addressed rather than feared or avoided. I've always believed if you're willing to adapt, keep learning, and put in consistent effort, then even the most challenging periods can become turning points. I think in many cases, you don't just recover from difficulties, you come through them stronger, more capable, and better prepared for what comes next.
What motivates you after 25 years?
I think it's because I still genuinely enjoy what I do. I think that's important. But beyond that, what really keeps it fresh for me is the people. Seeing the team succeed, and especially watching new people come in and grow into their roles, it's just incredibly rewarding. There's something quite special about that early stage when someone's still finding their feet. You can literally see their confidence build week by week. And at first they might be hesitant or unsure, but then gradually they start contributing ideas, taking ownership and really finding their voice. We're seeing that with some new members of the team that joined us last year, and being part of that journey, even in a small way, is something I never take for granted. I also love how new people often bring different energy and perspective. They ask questions other people might not think to ask and challenge the way we do things. It doesn't have to always be the way it's always been done. So I'm open to that, and it keeps everyone else sharp, including me. It's not just about teaching them, it's a two-way exchange. You end up learning from them as much as they learn from you. So that's brilliant. Watching someone go from their first day, when they then become someone that others rely on, or even starting to mentor new colleagues themselves, is probably one of the more satisfying parts of the job. It's that sense of progression, seeing people develop real confidence and capabilities. That makes work feel meaningful long after the day-to-day tasks fade into the background. I suppose in the end, it's the shared momentum of the team, the enthusiasm, the growth, and the constant evolution of people coming through. That's what really gets me out of bed in the morning.
How would you describe the Astute Group in 3 words?
People-focused, collaborative, and driven. I would say people-focused because at its core, it's about relationships. I know I've been banging on about that the whole time, but building trust, supporting development, and matching the right people with the right opportunities. I chose collaborative because of the emphasis on teamwork and the shared success story across clients and colleagues. And driven, well, we're all driven, but there's a clear focus on performance, growth, and doing things properly rather than just quickly.
What do you hope people think of when they think about the Astute Group?
I'd like people to think of us as a company that's helpful and genuinely cares about our customers, our team, and the quality of what we do. We want to be seen as a trusted partner rather than just a supplier. I think that's really important. Someone businesses can turn to when they're not sure the best way forward. I think that's one thing that we've become renowned for. A lot of the companies we work with are growing or evolving, and they come to us just to help because they're unsure of how to present themselves, whether that's brand image, workwear, marketing materials, or their online presence. That's where we can really add value to their business. We can guide them through the whole process, from shaping how they look and feel as a business to making sure that message is consistent across everything that they do. We can handle it all in one place, which is amazing. Customers love that. So we can design and supply their workwear, create and print leaflets, marketing materials, manage their digital presence from websites through to social media. As our business develops, we stay involved too, updating materials, supporting new projects as they come up, and their brand then also makes sure it stays current and professional, which is brilliant. But ultimately, I'd like people to see us as a company that makes things simpler for them. We take away the stress of marketing and presentation and replace it with a clear, consistent, and high quality approach that helps their business grow.
What would you like the next chapter of the Astute Group to look like?
I'd love to see the business continue to grow and evolve while still holding firmly onto the values that's brought us this far. Growth for the sake of growth isn't the goal here, or certainly not for me. It's about building something that is genuinely sustainable and resilient and relevant for the future. That means thinking beyond the immediate horizon and making decisions that strengthen the business for years to come, not just months. For me, the future is about creating real opportunities for the next generation. I'm not getting any younger, so whether that's developing talent from within, bringing in fresh perspectives, or opening doors for people who might not traditionally have access to the industry. It's also about staying open to new ideas, embracing innovation, and making thoughtful use of technology in a way that enhances what we do without losing the human side of the business. But I don't know, summing it up, most importantly, I want the Astute Group to remain a place where people genuinely enjoy working, where they feel valued, supported, and proud of what they're part of. I'm certainly very proud of what we've created here. I think it's incredible. And if we can continue to build a culture like that while we're evolving and adapting to change, then we'll have achieved something that lasts well beyond any single chapter of the business.